What's up, everyone? It's the OOTP GM, and I want to welcome you all to the third episode here of my Detroit Tigers GM Let's Play here on Out of the Park Baseball 18. So we are here. It is July 2nd. It is the International Free Agency signing period, and at the end of the last episode, I was still working on getting my draft pick signed, and I wanted to let you guys know that all of the guys that I did make offers to accepted, and then all of the guys that were impossible signability did not sign or are not going to sign. So they are going to enter back into the draft next year. So we've continued to play really good baseball. We are 48 and 32 right now. We are in first place in the division. Continue to have a surprising season. We are actually tied with the Cleveland Indians. We are percentage points ahead of them at the moment. But we are doing pretty well. I cannot complain about how we are playing. So the international free agent signing period happens every year, and it's a little bit different this year than it's been in the past. Normally in the past, you could spend up to $3 million on international free agents without a penalty, and every time, and when you went over the $3 million, you were limited the following year into what kind of contracts you could offer to players the following year. So I like to splash the pot, as I called it, every few years when there'd be a lot of really good international free agents like there is this year. I like to do that and try to sign as many guys as possible, and then I wouldn't be able to sign guys for the next couple of years, but I would gather up all the really good players I could. This year, you're limited to spending $5 million, and that's it. So I was looking over some of the players that they have here, and I'm going to try to get multiple players. I don't want to get stuck with just one guy. So I was looking at guys to sign, and I'm going to offer contracts to a couple of guys. There's this catcher, 16-year-old catcher, Antonio Cabello from Venezuela. I'm going to offer him a contract. Normally, you need to go over what their demand is to try to get them to sign without competition. So I'm going to go to $2.5 million for him, and I'm going to submit an offer. And then I'm going to go back, and I would like to try and sign this Adrian Hernandez for 2.5 as well, the center fielder. I don't think I'm going to be able to get him, but I'm going to try and sign him for 2.5 and see if that works. So we'll go to 2.5, ask for response. All right, so we have offers to two different guys. That is our $5 million. We can't go over $5 million because if we try to go over that $5 million, it'll reject the signings. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fast forward here. We're going to go until we see if these guys sign with us or if we need to make a different move. So we'll see. Excuse me. We will see what happens here. All right. So personal message. Oh, this is I made a bunch of offers to guys in our minor league system, the minor league personnel, to try and get some of them to re-sign. So this is just one of them reacting to an offer. So I will explore that later because I do like to try to sign the minor league personnel if I can. So all right, so let's see. Yeah, see, so the Padres have given this guy a better deal, this Adrian Hernandez, the international free agent here, the center fielder. They gave him a better offer. So if we wanted to sign him, we'd have to increase our offer. You can see he wants more money. Cabello favors the offer. So what we're going to do is I'm going to skip on trying to sign Hernandez now, and I'm going to move on to a different player. And I'm going to scroll down here a little bit, and there's a few guys here that are 3.5 stars that I'm going to look at. There's the shortstop, and there's a left fielder here. I'm going to go ahead, and I'm going to look at this shortstop here. He's at 1.5, so I'm going to offer him a contract. Oh, he actually, wow, that's a lot less than I was expecting. So I'm going to offer him $1 million. Okay, let's see what happens with that. And I have $1.5 million that I still have available. Alright, so there's another shortstop down here that's only looking for $700,000. Let's see. excuse me, left fielder. I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move forward and see if these guys sign with us before I make any more decisions here. Okay, the recovery expected to take 5 days. I'm not going to worry about that. That's just that is a quick little, that'll be just a quick little recovery there, so. Excuse me. Alright, so we will see what happens here. And we did get the catcher, so the catcher signed for $2.5 million. And we will keep moving forward here, and we will see if we can get the one guy to sign for $1 million, which would leave us with a little bit left to try and see if we can find anybody else. And we're still waiting for him to get back to us, so let's do till All-Star teams announced. We are going to have a couple of All-Stars. I know Miguel Cabrera was leading the voting for first baseman. And so Hernandez signed with St. Louis, and see, Leonard got a better offer, so we're going to have to up his offer. And we did get a third-round compensation pick for not signing Jordan Adele, so we will have an extra third-round pick next year in the draft. So we are going to go back to the international free agents, and we have $2.5 million left to spend. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to, like I said, the one guy, Eddie's Leonard right here. He wanted, his number went up. So there's other shortstops around here. I'm going to see what this Jordi Guaba. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but I'm going to offer him. I'm going to go ahead and offer him 2.5 and see if we can. See if we can get him, and then that'll be the full amount that we've spent. So we'll be all done with that then. And all right, so we're gonna go ahead and we will move on to the All-Star teams announced. Daniel Norris can be activated off the disabled list. All right, so we're gonna have to move some people around here. So Chad Bell, we are gonna send him back down to AAA. Bring Daniel Norris back. Verlander's still in the DL for 2 more days. I think he had I think it was a strained oblique is what they said. So, alright, so we'll go back and we will ask manager for staff. Norris slots right back in. And so we ended up calling up Miles J, who was one of our prospects. We ended up calling him up when Verlander and Norris both went down. So he'll get sent back down again after, or we might actually keep him up depending, because Buck Farmer hasn't been pitching very well. I might send Buck Farmer back down after this, and we'll see. So, alright, so we are waiting to see. Okay, so Verlander's eligible to come off the disabled list. And Jay hasn't really pitched all that well, so we're going to go ahead and send him back down to AAA. We're going to bring Verlander back. And we will ask the manager for staff again. And then we will continue moving forward. Okay, so it looks like the All-Star teams were announced. Alright, so let's see how many All-Stars we got. Verlander was an All-Star, that's not surprising. Justin Wilson made the All-Star team. That's cool to see. Miguel Cabrera and Justin Upton made the All-Star team. So we had 4 All-Stars. So that's pretty good considering how good of a season that we are having to start. That's nice to see us having, a good start to the season and having, All-Star representatives. So, alright, so we will go ahead and we will move forward here. We will see what happens if, okay, so, Guava did sign, Goaba, I think that's how it's pronounced. I apologize if I butchered that. He signed the contract, so we used all $5 million for the international free agent signing period. And we are going to go ahead and, I'm going to go ahead and fast forward to the trading deadline, and we will see what is happening there. So I will be back at the trade deadline. Alright, so we are back here, and it is at the trade deadline. And we have continued to stay in first place. We are 63-41 here at the trade deadline. We have a 3-game lead over the Cleveland Indians. We've got on a little bit of a losing streak here, but we are still playing really well. And as I look over the team, realistically, what we could use is a reliable fifth starter. We've had Artie Lewicki filling in for us, and he's pitched relatively well. But Norris has struggled a little bit this year. Fulmer is starting to pitch a little bit better, but he's still struggling a little bit. So I feel like we could use another starter. And I was looking over the team, and I was trying to think, or we could at least use help maybe in the bullpen a little bit. Although most of our bullpen is pitching really well too, other than Buck Farmer. He's not pitching very well. Most of our team is doing really well. Like I said, Artie Lewicki would be the one guy that I'd be looking to replace. Maybe move him to the bullpen instead of having him start, because even though he projects as a starter, I'm not sure if I can trust him to be a starter, a reliable fifth starter for us down the stretch. So I was looking at what kind of move I could possibly make. And the one that kept coming back to me was trading JD Martinez. Now, he's playing really well for us this year after missing some time early in the year. And I was looking at making a move with him to try and get a reliable fifth starter. So we're going to go ahead and just out of curiosity, see what we could get for him in a trade. Chances are the offers are not going to be amazing or that they're going to blow us away. But if there is a starter that pops up that makes sense for us, I might look to make a deal like that, because Martinez is going to be a free agent at the end of the year. I'm not going to want to give him a big contract because he's going to be getting into his 30s, and even though he's still playing really well, we have Kristen Stewart coming up. He's probably going to be in the majors next year. So I don't want to stunt his development. And like I said, I'm really apprehensive to give a guy like Martinez a really big deal. So I kind of want to wait. I want to see what kind of offers we get for him. I feel like we're gonna get solid offers, and I'm looking for like a controllable pitcher that we could get. I'd like to see a solid controllable pitcher, a guy that's not going to cost us a lot of money that we can, make some moves with. But again, we're gonna kind of have to wait and see what the offers pop up as. So. Alright, so let's start scrolling through here, and Vidal Nunez, no, we're not going to take him. Let's see, so far, not overly thrilled. Luke Gregerson would be interesting, but he's a reliever, we don't need another reliever. Let's see, Boone Logan, he's a reliever. Hyun-Jin Ryu is an interesting guy. He's not pitching very well this year. What kind of salary does he have? He makes $7 million this year and next year, so he's somewhat affordable. So Hyun-Jin Ryu would be interesting. Might have to take a look at that. Phil Hughes. Let's see. Neil Walker. Like I said, I'm looking for starting pitching. There are a lot of starting pitchers that are being offered, but okay, Jeff Samardzija, San Francisco. 3.5 stars. I know he's probably got a hefty contract though. Yeah, $18 million. That's a little bit too steep for me. I think I'm going to pass on Samardzija. Andrew Kashner. Wow, he's pitching really, really good this year. I wonder why Texas would be willing to trade him. Yeah, but he's a free agent at the end of the year, so we're not gonna trade for just a rental. Francisco Liriano. Let's go back to the Dodgers. I'm kind of interested in Hyun-Jin Ryu. Let's go ahead and look at. I know he's not pitching very well this year, but let's see. Let's look at their active roster. Let's see if they'd be willing. I know they're not going to trade Kershaw, obviously, but do they have any other reasonable pitchers? Rich Hill was listed as a reliever. Urias. I'd love to get Urias, but they're not going to. I seriously doubt they're going to trade Julio Urias to us. Let's see what it would take to make this work. I seriously doubt it's going to be something we're willing to give up. No, we don't have a player to make it work. So, what about Alex Wood? He's only 26. All right, so he's still in arbitration here. So Alex Wood would be another guy I'd be willing to make a deal for. He says you need a lot more. What else could we get? What do we need? Okay, so we'd have to give up a pretty good player. We'd have to give up Castellanos, and I am not ready to do that because he's having a career year this year, so I'm not going to trade Castellanos. So it looks like we're going to be looking at Hingen Ryu. Let's see if we can get some prospects out of them, out of this deal. I don't think we're going to be able to get any superstars, but what about this Starling Herrera? No, cannot accept this offer. Let's see. Walker Bueller, Gavin Lux. Let's see if they'll give me Gavin Lux. Nope, he would need a lot to consider that. Let's see. I'm just looking for really anything else that we can get. What about this catcher? Not a good deal. Omar Estevez, shortstop. Nope. Doesn't look like we're going to be able to get a whole lot of extra out of this. Ooh, Alex Verdugo. He's not rated very highly here. What about Verdugo? I would really like to get Verdugo. Even though he doesn't have great ratings according to my scout. Okay, they want Fulmer, so that's not going to happen. Man, I really wish we could get at least one guy out of this from them. What about Phil Clark? What's it going to take to get these guys? Okay, now this is a trade we can make because we got a bunch of nobodies that we can toss in to make this work. So I'm going to add this as a car into the deal. He's a 1-star guy. We're going to add him in. And even though Avila doesn't like the deal, I don't really care what Avila thinks. So we're going to complete this trade. And people are not happy that we traded Martinez, but you know what? We needed to make a move. So we're going to go in to the pitching staff here. I am going to send Buck Farmer back down to AAA. I am going to add Hingen Ryu to our active roster. And then Christian Stewart has been playing pretty well in the minors this year. He struggled at AAA, but I figure it's no better time than now to see what we've got with him. So I'm going to call Christian Stewart up to the majors. Might be rushing him a little bit, but I kind of want to see what he's going to give us. And let's go ahead and ask manager for all depth charts and lineups. So they're actually starting Stewart over Victor Martinez, which I can't say that I blame them for him for doing that. I don't necessarily agree with it, but you figure Stewart's got to get some time in here eventually, so go ahead and we'll see how that's going to work. Oh, I need to go into the pitchers as well and ask manager for staff. Now, see, they still want Lewecki to start, so that is not what I got this trade for. So we might have to... I hate to send Lewecki down because I don't want to force him to have to start Ryu. But we got Ryu not to be a setup guy, but to be a starter. Even though Lewecki is pitching pretty well, I don't know if I'm comfortable. And it would be nice to have a second lefty in there. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to end the episode here. We made our one big trade. I don't think we're going to make any other moves. And I will be back at the end of the season, either with a playoffs or with the off season, depending on how the rest of the season goes. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in to this episode. It was a little bit longer than I anticipated, but I had to make some moves and try and see where we could go. So thanks for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.